that's powerful. But listen. Okay, so a movie came out, The Birth of a Nation. All right, I'm gonna digress. I remember many years ago. Remember the movie Amistad came out, right? And all the black people went to the movies and they came back. Oh man, was it that bad? No. What the problem is, what we call education is indoctrination. You understand what I'm saying? I came from I was born in another part of the slave diaspora. I was born in Guyana. Okay, so when we were looking at Amistad and we saw all those terrible things that was going on in Amistad, my educational system had allowed me to understand that they used to take us and throw us off the ships if we caught a communicable disease and come back in. That was the first insurance fraud that they ever had on seas. If we caught like smallpox or chickenpox, they would burn the ships at sea and still come back and get the money for the slaves.
Funny thing you say real fast. The difference in yourself and Mr. Raymond is that you not made here like myself, Raymond, and Anthony.
No, the difference is information. Listen, it's information. Yeah. It's information, because indoctrination and education is two different things.
Y'all can see us.
Malcolm said, Malcolm said, you know what's the most terrible thing we do? We send our children off to the killing fields, and that's the school system. You understand? That's the school system. When I talk to people in my community, and somebody in my community is able to tell me that the worst tragedy that happened to human beings was the killing of 6 million Jews, and that's terrible, that's tragic, and that happened for about 11 years. And they cannot see their own tragedy in themselves, that we were on concentration camps for over 300 years. Or when I talk to a young black man in middle school and he's talking about Remember the Alamo, and he doesn't understand that the whole Alamo came about because Texas and California belonged to Mexico, and Mexico had outlawed slavery. And so these people just wanted to have more land and territory for slaves. That's the whole idea about the Alamo. So therefore, our children are coming home indoctrinated. They're not educated. If they're educated, then they're going to solve their problems for themselves. We're indoctrinated. We're indoctrinated to think we live in the greatest country in the world. No, the only thing great about this country is that there is a hope and there's a dream and there's a system that we can make better. But this country has never been great for black people. There have never been name a time in the history of America where it has been great for black people as a community. Because every time we pull ourselves up with our own bootstraps, they burn it down.
So how we resolve it?
But I got a question, and my question gonna be Mr. History Man right here. You know, no. It's gonna include these two, because we're gonna go through it. Okay, we've changed with our names, meaning this: when we were colored folks, we helped each other. When we were called colored, we helped each other. If your father was gone, then these three men took you to cut your hair. They took you to school. They made sure everything was done because we were colored people. Then we moved up to this new name, Negroes. Okay, we became Negroes. Somebody told us we were elevated. Okay, now we still we elevated to a new name. So we still did something for our black men, but we became separate. Then someone else told us that, you know, we're black and we're proud. We became black and proud of who knows what the heck it was, but we became that too. We changed when the names changed for us, which caused us to leave you behind because we started identifying with something that wasn't really real. So, Anthony, how can we go back? Because obviously we need the colored people to come and save us.
That's so funny.
Because that would help our youth. Because that's when our youth knew who Mr. So-and-so was. If you would come and Mr. Anthony, if you was walking down the street, Raymond and Darryl will pull up their pants, slick back their hair, straighten up their clothes, because they did not want you to say anything to them. You know, so they looked up to you and they became you. They eventually became you because they knew, here, Mr. Anthony, come, I don't want to hear it. He gonna say, how's my grades? He gonna say, well, how was my grades? I'm gonna have to give him an answer. So there you go. So behind it, what was that? Now I'll say this before I answer you. Now if these two men right here, these two young men know, I'll get on them in a heartbeat. I will call them in a minute. What are you doing? Why? And I'll also lead them, but I also listen to them because they've taught me some things. So I'll say it's me. I haven't left them, and they know how to find me. They know where I am. So as a black female, they know me. They know that I'm gonna support what they do, but I'm gonna come at you if you're wrong. But I'm gonna help you. I might drop you off, but I'm dropping you off for a reason. and they learn why I'm dropping them off because they can learn. So do we need the colored people to come back and save us?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this: what, you know, us as colored, black, Negroes, African Americans, you know, whatever the day is, we have to look at it from the perspective that everything is going on in our environment and in the world globally is because of commerce. It's about money. Slavery was about money. Public schools is about money. Police shootings is about money. Everything is about money, and we have to look at it from that perspective. And I go back to what you said with the name. See, in order to destroy a people, you have to kill their identity. Melanated people within the United States do not have an identity, so they fall for anything. And with that being said, you know, black is a legal term. African American is a term that Jesse Jackson made. You know, African is a whole continent. Americas is 3 land masses. So, you know, it's a bit of confusion there. Once you bring in that confusion in your soul and your psyche, you're confused. Because if you ask any white person where they from, they're gonna say, hey, I'm from Germany, I'm from Russia, I'm from France, I'm from Denmark. You ask an Asian person where they from, they're gonna specifically go to nationality, the nation that they come from. We can't do that. We've been cut off. And it's just like a tree without its roots. If you cut the roots off, guess what? The tree will shiver and die. So, you know, we have to actually go back and talk about, have open discussion on, as a people, as a group, what do we want to call ourselves? But, you know, whites, you know, you look at, whenever you fill out a government application, you got white, black, and other. Whites, they assimilate up under whites because they know what the greater good of being white is. With us, we're still disconnected with unity on what we want to do and what we want to be. You know, white, black, and other is not about race, it's about a status. If you look in the Black's Law Dictionary, it's about status. So, you know, you want to change your status to evolve your status. And that's what
So what are you all going to do to get back to be the person that these two young men can say, hey, I need to talk to you? So what are you all going to do to get back that status?
Education.
That you've lost.
Hey, this starts with education. True education. Education means to bring light. So if we had an education, we'd be able to walk out of this room and be able to not see things the way it was before. You see, if you walk out of the room and you see things the way it was, then you've been indoctrinated. I'll give you a perfect example. About 3 years ago, Texas stopped talking about Columbus discovered the world, right?
Right.
I came to America at the age of 13. As far as I can remember, we were taught that Christopher Columbus was a mass murderer and never discovered anything. So what's the difference there? You see what I'm saying? One was education and one was indoctrination. And so what we have to do is I think last week I mentioned it, we have to develop our young men. It's like councils. So we have the Young Junior Leadership Council, because these are the warriors for tomorrow.
But you have to teach them how to be the warriors.
And that's where the elders, you know, that I'm here with, that's where we come in and we do the mentoring of the young group.
Okay.
Well, I'll say the first thing is start from the parents, because I heard a lot of parents saying, "Do not let nobody talk to you. Do not talk to strangers." That's one thing they said. Do not talk to strangers. So if I say, because I tried before, I told, hey, don't go across the street because the cars, you know, and he'd be like, you're not my dad. You know, my mom said she didn't talk to a stranger. So they get afraid if somebody talking to you, you know, especially kids, because you gotta let your kids know that people can tell you to do the right thing.
But that's when you have I understand that analogy, and that's true until when you hold a forum, and the forum is a group forum, then those kids will come and those people will come, and then you will learn that the stranger danger, that he is a stranger. I saw him at the forum. This is what he was saying. I can now connect with him. So the one-on-one, okay, now I'll say women, I'll say me. I don't care who it is I'm going to talk to. I don't care. Put your pants up, boy, because I said so. You're going to say something back to me, we're going to continue because we're going to have a black woman conversation, a black mother conversation. But in order for this to go, it will have to be a workshop. A Saturday workshop when you all sit down with your young men who need to be taught the art of war and how to be warriors, and they need to know who to connect with when they need to go to war.
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I like to start something from the roots, because right now the workshop will work for these guys, but the kids that coming out now, if we start nurturing them from younger age, then we don't have to work on it, because they will come up with that. They already trained coming up, because they was not, like Jupiter said, you know, they were not being talked to, especially with the women. Some kids, you talk to them, their moms come and attack you. Why you have to talk to my child, you know? So I'm saying, for those that come out now, they got to start doing that. The parents have to start letting them know that there are good people in this world. But for the young people, we can do the workshop, you know, invite them and talk to them, because their parents can't talk to them no more. You just gotta look. The elder will be able to help them out.
But see, if we teach them, these two, and men in their age group, to be warriors, their job is to teach the ones coming up to be warriors, because we can speak the same language to these two. They speak the same language as the ones after them. So we need to teach it down. We teach them and their group, warriors. Their job at that point, you will tell them their job is to take what you learn from us and go down to the generation that will look up to you and teach them the art of war, because they have all the newer things that we're still learning. So they might hold a workshop with their ones who will be looking up to them, and they might say, you know what, this is how we're going to do it, because we know what that generation expects.
But how about you? What if we do it and they go home and it's not?
Because then you know we can hold them accountable.
No, I'm saying when the kids that they talk to go home,
right,
and the parent is completely different from what they're telling them. So the parents, the youth, the adult, we all had to have one accord, because we're trying to train people. Because I can tell you what to do. I can say, look, put your pants up. It's not good to sag your pants. But if you go home and your parents don't tell you pull your pants up, there's who are you gonna listen to?
But if we wait, my thing is I see it two ways, because I work in education. If I simply waited on a bunch of parents to do something, I would never get it done.
That's true.
I'm serious.
That's what I'm saying.
Darryl.
That's why I say it starts from the parents. The parents have to be willing to get involved with us. We all need to work together.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
I mean, like everybody is saying, you know what I'm saying? It all starts in education and a cultivating in yourself. The person that we were talking about that needs to be respected in the neighborhood by the black and brown young man is the person who has to set the example for that person to see it and respect it. You know what I'm saying? The colored people that we're talking about, or the most powerful that we've seen that we're referring to, was because we had fearless leaders in front of us. You know what I'm saying? We had people who at that time they apparently would die for this. You know what I'm saying? Rather than go in the house. You know what I'm saying? We strong in the day. I seen it on Facebook when we did the walk around the park in Killeen.
Right.
We were criticized about that because we did it at the park. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Right. It wasn't my event. But again, just like everything I say, I'm going to be out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to walk around the park because we don't want this to happen. Yeah. Everybody I know out here feels the same way. And I just said something. We feel a certain way. If you haven't seen the dude in Adena, Minnesota, 2 days ago, he was walking with his jacket on. He walked around the sidewalk of construction site.
Yes.
White guy jumps out.
Yeah.
Undercover officer holds him the whole time, about 7 or 8 minutes until another cop comes. He didn't do nothing but walk around the construction site. It ended up going to jail. If you don't feel, if you are in Texas or if you're in Wisconsin or Minnesota, wherever, and you don't feel some way about that, then that's how you know you're not connected to be black. Or to being black, brown, color, whatever that is. We have to feel some kind of way about it. I don't need to know. You don't have to put down your social status as I'm from the Himalayas or I'm from anywhere. If you dark enough to be me, when I see you going through that exchange, I need to feel some kind of way about it. Period. And that's something that we missing. Our nervous system amongst each other is broken. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now Raymond, first of all, if anybody just not listening, we're still talking about our black men and what we need to do to move forward. Raymond, I need you to tell your brother's story.
Oh, okay.
He's like, what? Because you all don't know his brother's story, so you need to listen. Okay.
Let me see something real quick. Well, before I go into that,
yes.
I wanna say something. Before I met you,
yes,
I wasn't big on politics. Didn't understand how this whole community of black men, nothing, because I didn't grow up being taught these things.
Right.
Okay. But now that I've surrounded myself with this type of group over the years, I've realized that my elders hold the key. Okay. And so I'll get back to you guys on that. You're my great grandmother, because it's a lot of history that I have to take in before I can politically, speak on these type of topics. But let me get back to my brother real quick. We grew up in a great home. It's 5 kids, whatnot, and great young man. My mom, she did everything she could. All right, single mother. And make a long story short, we moved to Killeen, Texas. He got with the wrong crowd, turned 18 years old, dropped out of high school, and him and a few other friends committed a terrible crime. Terrible crime. Involved robbery. It was aggravated, and it landed him 50 years in prison.
But your brother's also special needs. Special
needs, yes, ma'am. Landed him 50 years in prison. Of course, drugs was involved, and so they made him waive his rights. We went through 3 different lawyers, and 50 years it is, 25 before you can go for parole. And so what I did was I put together a full video that pretty much highlighted the events that took place during that time, entitled it 50 to Life. So,
and it's powerful.
Yeah, I'm gonna say y'all should look at it. It's on I've shared it with everybody, and it is a powerful story.
It's a very powerful video. I watched it. I was waiting for him to release it. Yeah. I have 2 brothers who've been incarcerated, one that's still incarcerated in Texas as well. And again, just talking about those things, it's a bad thing that we haven't learned how to get around those things, because the only reason we do things like rob and take and things like that is because we don't have the finances and we don't have the outlet to be able to make that money to be able to take care of ourselves. So we feel like robbing and selling drugs and things like that is the way to be able to get those things, and it lands us a 50 to life. It lands my brother 20 years. He was in prison for 20 years. I got another brother, who's been in and out of prison. So those type of things, that if you don't got an outlet, man, you'll do anything. You'll do anything and land yourself in those type of situations. So I thought it was a dope video, and I know a lot of the guys that was in that video. You know what I'm saying? So man, I definitely want to salute you on your video. It was great.
Okay, but yeah, I wanted Raymond to talk about that, because that makes a stronger impact in what we need to do.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
What we need to do. And yes, you 2 are my children. I adopted y'all. I don't know why I lost my mind.
Well, see, a lot of times we know what to do. We just choose to go and do our own things.
But y'all know I'm gonna call you.
Well, no, I'm just speaking in regards to.
And I'm just saying, but y'all know I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, that happens all the time, quite frequently.
Okay, Jupiter has a big solution.
Well,
He goes, she would do that?
well, you know, it's all about having a solution. So,
Yes.
you know, I talked to my brother and Anthony and myself, and what we're going to do is we're going to start a leadership council. And it's going to be the first Monday of every month. And we're going to have our elders. You know, I consider myself an elders. You know, I feel old. You know, we're going to have our elders there as mentors for you young men. All you got to do is show up.
So where's it going to be?
And it's going to be at Glendora's.
Okay.
And there's a big conference room in the back. And all you got to do is show up 7 o'clock in the evening, the first Monday of every month. And we're going to address all these issues. We're going to address the art of war, because that's what it is. You know, we're going to make sure everybody comes in the door. I'm going to convince you to get a voter registration card, because I know we still got to convince our young men of that. I'm going to convince you. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to convince you, because it's you particularly. It's in the toolkit. It's in the tool. No, because that's what it's about. We're going to convince you to improve yourself first in all of the things necessary to move the struggle forward. It's a solution.
Okay, Darryl.
I'm letting my man Anthony get in here because, you know, I got to get him on this.
Let me write that note down.
We can go back and announce it.
Yeah, in the meetings, what I'm gonna do is come from the economic and business standpoint of it. That's what our community is really lacking in. You know, in the Jewish community, they money bounce roughly around 17 times. Then you got your white, you got your Asian, and I'm gonna go to the black. Our money bounce in our community roughly around 17 seconds. So most of our problems come from not having resources. Like I said, everything is about economics. Going to prison is about economics. Somebody's getting paid. So what we need to start doing is coming up with a plan to keep our money in our community and you know, foster our businesses that we do have, and push off for more entrepreneurship and support those type businesses.
Okay, dog, you go ahead. Then Darryl's jumping out of the seat.
I point him out.
No, I just want to let Jupiter know that's a very good idea. And to tell you the truth, I got a lot of people that can come up there that are willing to do this thing, to talk to people, you know, retired military, pastors, police officers, you know, and I know you guys got a lot of friends. We bring those people to come up and talk to the community, and, you know, so we can start this thing going. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Okay, Darryl, you can jump out of your seat. Go ahead, jump out of your seat.
Okay, so first and foremost, I accept the mentoring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, I'm just hearing about it in the first couple of seconds, so we have to mentally adjust some things in the schedule. That's fair. That's all in all fairness. But I do accept that. The thing about voting locally, I can understand. Nationally, not so much.
What about statewide?
Statewide, I don't feel like in reality we have that much power to break that type of process. And the only reason I would deal with local governments is because you can possibly catch the mayor walking down the road. You know, you can catch him. You know, I mean, respectfully, you can see him. A lot of the other people that we're talking about, you know, there's a million things between them and the reality of your opinion and what you can get done. I don't think that simulating, after all this time of being in America, simulating it into this system or continuously believing that we have stake in this system or this process is what we need to be focusing on. To say that we just had a whole black person in the president's office, and now we have a new white person that's about to tell us how they're going to treat us better than a Negro. That's the way that I'm gonna say it. That's gonna treat me better than what my own person was just gonna treat me. You know, so Asian people have found a way to live in America and not be in public office. Hispanic people in their own sense have found their own little niche, you know what I'm saying, to be able to survive in America without being in public office. And other religions or nationalities, Arab people they're not mayor, they're not run downtown at the council meetings and stuff, but they figured out how to cut into our neighborhoods and survive amongst ourselves. So I don't really think that trying to be a part of this system, the way that we're trying to do this system is our concern. We need to really worry about ourselves, seriously worry about ourselves, and we'll get more from that if that makes sense.
Okay. All right, it's time to wrap it up. So this is so I need everybody to have a pencil and paper. No, that's okay, because these are two things you're gonna write down. Solution 1, every first Monday of the month, 7 o'clock, African American males need to be at Glendora's, 715 West Veterans Memorial, need to be there for that. And solution about the businesses, every first Friday of the month, I host Community Connections Black Business Cash Mob Meetups at 7 p.m. So the first Friday of every month, we're at a different black business spending money. Who can come? Anybody. But what are we supporting? Black businesses. Yes, I've been asked to do this for other organizations and groups, and if y'all know me, you know I said no. You gotta look like me in order to be a part of this business thing that we're doing every month. So those are two things we know that we are doing to make a footprint in Killeen and let the footprint continue to moving. So no one has an excuse. Also, if you can't listen to the show in the mornings, you can go to mykiss1031.com, go to Community Connections, and all my shows are there. They're all there. So you can listen to them forever. And you can tell people who live other places they can listen to it. But I want to thank everyone for listening to KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. I want to thank my guests for coming on twice, because this is a good topic, and it was started, which means it will be a good topic when you all continue to do your workshops. And hopefully, that you two young people bring more of your group in, because that's the way to continue. And I want to let everyone know you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.